Hi, I'm Lynn Coleman from Doberman's, and I'm going to try to teach you how to do the wire tie method that I have kind of shortened up and made as easy as possible for everybody. And we are going to start out by showing you what you need. You need these wire ties, which you can actually get at Walmart. And they are more of a construction width and thickness, and you want to look at the longest ones you can get. These are 18-inch, and they are up to 180 pounds, so that's what it's a heavy duty, and it is for outdoor use also. That helps, but not necessary, but it just makes it thicker. When it comes out, it's got a point on one end, and it's got the other thing on, I don't know what you call that, but on the other end. I cut off the end that would naturally be going through to make it a wire tie. There we go, because we don't use that. Okay, and then this end that has the point on it, I take the point off. You have to find the scissors that will work, because not all scissors will cut this thick of a wire tie. The thicker the better on the wire ties. You can find them at Lowe's also. And then how we're going to measure, no, stay right there. How we're going to measure is we're going to pretend that it's down in the base of the ear. We're going to pull the ear up, and then we're going to measure above the ear, because better too long than too short, but I'll give it at least an inch, because you're probably going to cut it off anyway. But it makes it a little easier. If it's too short, you've wasted your time. If it's too long, we just cut it off, didn't fit the ear, and you're all set to go. I'll make the second one out of that, the same length. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to put her down, because the rest is how to make the posts. Good girl. Now what we're going to do is first, so there's no rough edges, this is the edge that I cut the point off of, and I'm going to make it even less pokey by cutting off any of the points. Then I'm going to use, you can use your Dremel tool too to round it off, but I'm going to just kind of use an emery board and round it off, and making sure there's no points whatsoever that might poke the ear. So we can make sure by rubbing your hand on there, make sure there's no points whatsoever. It's totally rounded. I'm not doing anything with the other end, because we're probably going to be cutting it off because it's too long anyway. And so then I will do this. This one's squared off, so I'm going to take the points off and get us started on rounding. And I do it over something, because there's always these little teeny pieces that are all over the floor, so it's easier if you dump them into a little basket of some sort, waste basket, and then round that off. There we go. Okay, just like that. Go all around it, make it so there's no points at all. Make sure with your own finger so that there's no points, no rough edges, no nothing. Okay, then I always work over paper towel, because if you spill the glue, you're in deep trouble. It's not fun to clean it up. But if you do need to clean it up, or if it gets too much on your hands, or even if you need to clean off the ears, if you're getting ready to go in a show ring or something, you can use starting fluid. I put it on a piece of paper towel, I spray it on paper towel, and then rub the ears, or I spray it on me if I've got too much on my hands, and that will take it off very easily. And that way you don't have to worry about it. It's just ether. All right. Then I clean it off a little bit after I get done, if I do it on their ears. Then I will do, okay, we're done with that. The other things we need, this is Gorilla tape, the black, because it's nice and thick tape, and it is very sticky, extremely sticky. And there we go. Okay, and we're going to make it about an inch longer on either end of the posts. Okay, and then cut that. Those scissors won't cut this, but these will. So you kind of have to have a couple pair of scissors. Okay, I'm done with that. Then what we're going to do is we only want half of this on each one of these posts. So I stick it to the table, and it makes it a little bit easier to cut down the middle. What I'm doing is to make 2 long pieces. About the same size if you can, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. There we go, right up the middle. Okay. I found this to be one of the easiest ways to do this. And then I leave one stuck to the table for right now, so I'll pick it up later. And then I take it and I put it sticky side up. And I'm going to go down to about ½ an inch from the bottom. Go right down the center. And it does not matter whether the ridged side of these is up or down. Doesn't matter. It's just the same. Then we're going to take the second piece and put that over here. And do the same thing with this. With about ½ an inch or so down. And then down the center. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, because the glue won't stick to this duct tape, so I use the white Zonus porous. That's one of the ones, doesn't have to be porous, but it can't be the paper tape. That doesn't seem to absorb it very well. And then I'm going to take that and go right down the center. Okay. And I'm kind of taking my fingernail and making sure that the whole thing is stuck tight. This is sticky side to sticky side right here. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to cut off the excess. And leave that there for now. Then I'm going to go down this side, make the second one. Make sure it's stuck on tight. Use your fingernail around. Make sure it's stuck tight.
So you're just sandwiching the zip tie between the 2 pieces of tape.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Then I'm going to cut like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because this is the one that we kind of rounded, is going to go in the base of the ear. So if there's a lot of excess tape here, so what I'm going to do to kind of make it easier to go in the base of the ears, I'm going to kind of shave it off a little bit and round it out, but making sure that there's still tape below where we've stuck it. Because eventually when we stick it in the ear, it's going to fold up and use that as more cushion as well, so that it's right, actually peeled upwards like that, not peeled, but pulled upwards. And then we'll do the other one. Yes, sir. Like that. Okay. There we go. All right. Then we're going to take the white tape again and cut a piece about 2 to 2.5, 3 inches. And then we're done with the white tape and we're done with the duct tape. Great. Could you? Thank you. They get on the other side of her, they can't get to her. Okay, then we split this lengthwise, that 2-inch piece, and I'm going to stick it just to the table. And oh, I forgot to mention too, we have to clean the ears after they come down, and then again before you put them back up again. That way there's no dirt, no glue, no anything that can produce a yeah, an ear infection or anything like that in there. Okay, and we did that already on the dog I'm using, so she's all nice and clean. We use then the smaller cotton balls, okay. As a baby puppy, when you first start putting them in there, these are way too big to fit in the actual ear canal. And so what I do at that time, I will cut it in half. Now it kind of has a barrel shape, and it has kind of a point at one end. I go with it this way, all right, and I will cut off the excess. Usually when I start with a young pup, 8-9 weeks old, you'll probably only use half of one of these. But as they get older, you might use 3/4, or you might use the whole one. This is the cushion that will cushion the ear from the bottom of that wire tie. And then you can just kind of poke your finger in the middle and make a pocket, and it kind of makes a point. Okay. And that way it fits right in there when we're getting ready to put it in the ear. But I need to put glue on it first, so that's why I'm kind of waiting on that. But we're getting the cotton balls ready, getting the little pockets ready. You don't have to glue it or tape it, because if you use tape to put the tape on this post, it's rough, and it will actually rub a raw spot on the inside of the ear. So we want to make sure it's all soft, what's in there. The glue that's on their stick, our wire tie post, will be enough to glue it into this pocket, and it'll stay there pretty good. If it happens to come out, you just push it back in with your finger until it's time to actually take them off. Now this is the glue that we use. It's called Torbot. It can be bought at torbot.com. It can be bought at Amazon, and it can be, thank you. It can be also bought at Allegro Medical, which is probably the cheapest place to buy it. And so it is easy to do. But it takes a few days because it cannot go by air because it is flammable, so it has to go by ground. So make sure when you run out, before you run out, you get some more ordered if you need it. Sometimes you don't need it. It's stringy, and I always, there again, work over the paper towel, and I kind of have to get the strings off of it. And then I'm going to put a lot of glue on it. When the Torbot is brand new, it's a little more watery, so you need to put a little extra on there. I put the first coat on, and I'm leaving about the top inch, so I've got something to hold on to that's not all glue, and that makes it a lot easier to actually handle. So you kind of string it along and put that first coat on, and it will kind of soak up into this white tape, and that's going to help the base coat. There we go. Yeah. There we go. And okay, I'm going to do this one. Okay. All right. Sorry, this is taking so long. This is kind of one of the tiresome parts of this. And when you get them posted and they're looking good, then you can leave them up for a week. And that way, sorry, we have help. Yes, sir. And that makes it nice, because after a week, I like to take them down, even if they're still stuck tight and what have you, or fairly tight. They will be almost ready to come off anyway, but the ear starts to grow, and it starts pulling them out of the ear, and the ear can kind of fall off to the side a little bit because there's no more pressure holding it straight up and down. So after a week, I go ahead and repost anyway. Give them if they flop immediately, you put them back up again within an hour or two. If they don't flop immediately, you wait until they weaken or fall, whichever comes first. I'm going back over here, by the way, on a second coat, and really slathering it on pretty good, because without doing that, they won't stay on